everyone, welcome back to a new week and a new month. I can't believe it's September already. What are you gonna do? You go with the flow, right? That's what I've decided to do anyway. Anyway, I want to know, how are you guys doing? It's been a couple of weeks. We went through a lot of stuff and there's been some pretty deep questioning that you've all been kind of asked to do. So let me know in the comments how you're doing, or if you have any suggestions, or if you have any questions. And even if you just want to say hi, I'm always really happy to hear from you guys. I really want to know how you're doing. So if you're new here, my name is Antiinflammatory, and this is where I do oracle card readings for the week for the general collective based on health and nutrition. So how does that work? I take the messages from the universe, the energy that's presented to me, and I use that to give you guys nutritional advice and food suggestions for the week ahead, so you can navigate a little bit easier with less stress and have a lot more fun. So if this sounds like something for you, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe if you want to see more from me, and if you want to be notified when the new videos come out every week, then just ring that bell. All right, so if you guys are ready to see what's going on the week ahead for August 31st through September 6th, 2020, then let's get started. All right, well, I don't know about you individuals, but this is my favorite part of the video. So let's get started on our reading for August 31st through September 6th, 2020. We're going to, first of all, look at what the overall energy is going to be for the week, so that we can just kind of have an overview of what we can expect, so we can be aware of that. And we have the storyteller. All right, so if you can see here, the storyteller is this a book, right? Like almost like a journal. It's an empty pages, and it has a special key and it has a special lock, and the key belongs to you because this is your story, and this is your the inkwell, and your quill is your special instruments to write the story that you are teaching other people on how you want to be treated, right? So this is all about you and all about how people are allowed, or how you want people to treat you right now. And this energy this card is related to Energy Center 3, which is fire, which is what we kind of did last week, right? The solar plexus. And it makes sense that it would be brought over into this week, because if there are things that we are working on that we are trying to, like values and beliefs of ourselves that we're working on, it makes sense that, you know, you can't always do that in a week. Sometimes there's a lot of emotions that are going on in there. There's a lot of beliefs that we were taught, or just, you know, some things are really hard to just stop doing. It becomes habit, or if you've done it since you were very young, or just something that, you know, different things are hard for different people to overcome or change, or see how, yes, they want to change it, but to even see, like, how am I going to change it? And if I do change it, then what is there that I'm going to replace it with, or not replace it at all, right? So that's a lot of big questions, and also that's a lot of big emotions. And when you're dealing with this kind of energy, it does deal with things like joy, anger, and transformation. And when you're dealing with those states, it can bring about very extreme kind of emotions when you're dealing with that. So this is, you know, calling us to take action and to, you know, tap into that power that you have, and let's take some action. Let's rewrite the story or change the story to where it's not something we want of others. It's not us trying to have what other people have, the life they have, you know, the feelings that we think that they have. We don't want to live somebody else's life because we're unique. We have our own viewpoints, and it's important for us to have our own special viewpoints and our own perspectives. Otherwise, how boring would life be, right? And if we're trying to write someone else's story, then we're not going to be happy in the long run. When that life comes to fruition and comes into reality, that's not going to be our story still. And it's going to have to be something that we're going to have to change again. So this is giving us the opportunity to do it. Look again, see what's going on, and let's take care of business, right? So like I said, we're going to be dealing with some of the solar plexus kind of nutritional advice and food suggestions that we did last week, which is totally fine. If we can just get a little bit more clarity on this energy, so that we can, you know where maybe where we're going to look and what's happening, so that we can take care of it. Take action on it. So here we go, here and now. And this is in the protection position. We're also going to be happy. All right. Nothing wrong with being happy, and milk and honey. Okay. Just right off the bat, whoever of you is vibing off the rainbows, like seeing them, and the eggs as well, like seeing them everywhere, or reading about, or it's just kind of your thing. This message here, this reading is for you. So here and now is just that. It's being in the present. If you can kind of see, I know it's a little tiny, but this little post says past and this little post says future. And she is sitting on an egg in the middle, and she has put her flag, she staked her claim, because she's going to be in the present. So when it's in the protection position, upside down, right, this means we're not in the present. And it's calling us to come back to the present time, the here and now. So this correlates really well with the storyteller. We need to be in our current environment because there are things going on there that we need to investigate, that we need to look at. We need to know and be aware and mindful of what's happening here and now, so that we are able to make the changes necessary to be able to change that story if need be. So living in the past is like the coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? Oh, if I would have chosen this differently, then it would be my life would be so much better. If I wouldn't have done this, this situation would never have came about. And then also it's talking about the future, and that's living, like planning too far into the future, right? How can you plan into the future if you don't really have the story right yet, right? How can you plan to have what you want in the future if what you're planning for is not the truth? It's not really you. So we're going to want to be more in the present, and that can also go, we've done a lot of grounding, and you're never going to get rid of the grounding. You're always going to have grounding. I think especially in this day and age where it's very hard to connect to almost anything with how many distractions there are. So I think we're always going to have to be mindful of the grounding kind of exercises and what have you that we can take advantage of to keep us connected, right? And then over here we have happy. And happy is just simply that. She is happy. She is full of joy. She just couldn't be happier. And if you'll see around her, and then she's of course sitting on the little egg, and both of these eggs are signified. They're not cracked open, right? They're brewing, right? So things are brewing, and this is going to be key to you when it hatches. You know, there's that story, and when it hatches, then you want it to be happy, happy. You want to be content. And this happy, happy card too, she's joyful because she chooses to be joyful. She's not happy because of what she wants or what she thinks she needs to have in the future. She just chooses to live life with joy simply because that is the way she wants to be. She wants to be happy. She doesn't want to want. All right. So, and then we come over here to the milk and honey card. And this again is saying, you know, play. There's a little elephant in here. He's playing in the little bowl of milk there, and he's got some honey, so it's nice and sweet. He's got what he needs for nourishment. He's nourished in every way. He's happy. He is excited for life. There's a rainbow that, just is pretty for him to look at. So he's got everything he needs. And these things are here for him just because they're here for him. It's not for any one reason except for him to be in the moment, right? In the moment, to be joyful and to live life to the fullest. So we're being really called to realizing that our happiness in our story, what we're planning for when we're ready to do that, is in the present moment and making sure that we're taking care of what we need to take care of. Okay. And for that, I'm going to say we're going to need to have some clarity. Not only are we going to have to or want to take care of our solar plexus and our digestive system so that we're able to keep everything nice and working well there where we hold our power, so we can get into that and access that and not have to worry about anything gumming it up. We also want to have clarity so that we're able to know the difference between maybe our ego and our true self, like what we really want. Look inside of us and have the clarity to see the truth, right? So I'm going to suggest there that we eat like really high vibrational foods. We want things that are going to make us be clear of mind and feel light in our bodies. So we will talk about some more higher vibrational foods that we can consume that will help with that, and maybe a couple of little exercises that might be beneficial for you. I'm going to probably say this every video, but the processed foods, if you eat a lot of processed foods and a lot of hydrogenated fats and oils, that is going to not give you clarity. That is going to bog down your system in every way, shape, and form, and not allow you to have the kind of clarity that you need to do this kind of work. Just plain and simple. All right. So now that I'm done with the preachy, let's go ahead and we gotta have our animal spirit card, because we need to know what animal spirit has to say to us about the week. And we got dog, and so we're going to work with dog spirit. Yeah, okay. And dog spirit says be loyal to what you love. Okay. So, and he's in the protection position. So we're talking about love, okay? And I think we're talking about loving ourselves too. We do have to love ourselves in order to, we have to love our bodies. We have to love who we are, right? We have to be okay with who we are to write the right kind of story. So I think we're going to really be talking about love. And again, he's talking about be loyal to what you love. Where is there loyalty in your life that is lacking, right? Where does it need some improvement? So this is talking about too, like evolving and growth. And where are you fearing that? What situations, what feelings, what attachments do you have that are not allowing you to evolve and grow? So that's something that we're going to be looking at. That's perfect. That's something that we're going to have to look at in the here and now. So there's where you kind of want to look. Okay, maybe that's what we're missing, what we haven't taken a hold of yet. It's fear of, letting people down, even though we're not where we want to be and they're not treating us the way we want to be treated. We still don't want to let them down, so we're still going to allow them to do that. We can't do that anymore. That's not going to write a good story for us. It's not going to be true. It's not the truth. And that's what we're looking for, right? Okay. And of course, this is talking about, this is self-love, right? Your greatest loyalty is love. So you need to just access the universe here, spirit source, whatever it is. Remember, you're a co-creator. Remember, you have support. Spirit will never leave you behind. He always has your back, he or she, however that resonates with you. And you deserve what you want. And Spirit wants you to have what you want. So whatever you are yearning for, then you need to love yourself enough to allow that to happen. Okay? So I'll be looking at some self-care. Okay? I like self-care. I'm excited about that. Because I don't know if you are aware of this. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but this journey is not just for you. This journey is also my journey. I'm right here with you guys. I need this. This is my medicine. This is my thing. So I have work to do too. So I'm doing it right along with you. And then we are going to, let's see what the moon has to say. The moon has been so, there's been a lot of moon stuff going on, right? In the last couple of months, there's a lot of moon stuff that has been happening. So, and of course the moon is always important to us. It holds a lot of emotional ties, right? And it controls so many things in our world, on our earth, right? So I think it's important to take a look at Luna and see what she has to say to us. And she is telling us to surrender to the divine. All right, there's another confirmation. There's your confirmation for letting spirit in, right? Letting source in. Not only to let source in, you have to surrender. You have to surrender, okay? And this is full moon energy. And that's powerful. That is a powerful energy, all right? And so surrendering is not always easy, and we don't always know how to do that. So that is going to, again, tie into the clarity portion of things. We are really going to need to know how we're going to be able to surrender and let go of these stories that aren't true anymore, and how we're going to co-create new ones with spirit, and how we're going to be able to let that into our lives and let go of ego and let spirit come in and help us, right? This full moon card also signifies that if there are questions that you have, that you will be able to get the answers, but the key to that, again, is to surrender to the divine. All right, so once you're able to surrender to the divine, the questions that you ask can be answered. All right, and this is also you might need to look at forgiving someone or a situation, and also maybe releasing some negative energy, which, this kind of talks about that. So that all makes perfect sense. All right, so I think that is probably a really good place to end there. I am going to do an advice card, an affirmation card, some inspiration, just to kind of close it out. 2 of them. This says, when I surrender my will to the care of spirit and the universe, I attune my energy with an ever-present stream of well-being. So so there you go again, surrender. Please, surrender. Let me in, okay? Spirit's calling to you. Let me in. The universe is calling to you. Please, let's do this. We're all ready for it. We're ready to hear your story. We're ready for you to take your place in this world and share with the world your unique perspective, your unique point of views, and your unique purpose for being here, okay? Everybody's ready for you. You just gotta take action and let's do it. And then we did have another one come out that says, my true safety lies in my capacity to align with the love of the universe. And now we're talking about love again, right? We're aligning with love. True safety. Okay, so this reading could bring about some feelings of vulnerability, right? You are safe. You are safe in spirit. You are safe in the love of the universe. So fear not. Fear not. Everything's going to be fine. And when you are able to surrender and love, then spirit has your back, and so does the universe. And there you go. And how much more, you don't need much more than the love of spirit backing you up and the universe being behind you, right? To catch you. You won't fall. You won't fall. Okay. So I think that is the perfect ending to a beautiful reading, and I will meet you guys back for the nutritional segment and some food suggestions, and I'll see you guys in just a moment. Okay, welcome back. I hope you really enjoyed that reading. I got a lot of good information out of it, and I hope that you did too. So I know that last week we discussed the solar plexus, finding our power, asking questions about ourselves and who we really are, what we really believe, and where we place our value. So this week, it's not exactly the same, but we are still dealing with that fire energy, the solar plexus area, what our true identity is, and we're going to write a new story if we decide that the things that we have written so far isn't really resonating with us, and we're not happy with the way that the environment or others around us are treating us. We're going to want to change that story, and we're going to have to dig into that fire center again this week. And that makes sense, because when you're dealing with things of that nature and trying to find yourself, it can take more than 1 week, right? So we're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to bring the foods, bring the advice over from last week. Now, if you hadn't seen last week's video, then I'll leave a link in the description so that you guys can go ahead and click on that. You can watch the video, you can download the PDF, and then you can pull that information over and you'll be right up to speed. So go ahead and bring over those yellow foods if you liked that and it felt good to eat those types of foods. Keep doing that. That's great. And I think the number one thing I would like for you to remember about getting into that center, we were talking a lot about digestion, making sure we have good gut health, because that's where we hold our powers in our gut, right? That's where we're going to find ourselves. So I really want to bring over making sure that we stay in that parasympathetic state when we're eating at mealtime, and using that exercise that I gave to you in that PDF as a guideline. You can always change it to however you want to and what makes sense. Take things out, add things in, whatever you need to do to get the job done. Works great. Just make sure that you do what needs to be done and get in that parasympathetic mode so that you are present, right? Because that's part of our assignment this week, is to be in the present moment. And that includes at mealtime. You want to be mindful, you want to know what you're eating, you want to be aware of what's happening so that your body can digest it and give you the best nutrition and support it can. And included in those foods that we were bringing over was some of those anti-inflammatory foods as well. The ginger, the turmeric, the raw honey, right? Those are all going to be great to keep in your diet this week to help combat any inflammation that you may be feeling when, you know, it's not just food that upsets, it's emotions that can upset us too. Stress can upset us. That can all cause inflammatory reactions in the body. So anything we can do to help with that, to stay less inflamed, to have less stress, is going to help us in the long run. So keep those foods in there if you liked them. It'll go a long way to giving you some really good health. All right, and I think that we did talk a little bit about fermented foods also. So go ahead and bring those back in too. They're good for your gut health also. They're good, they got probiotics in them that helps your microbiome stay healthy, the bacteria balanced, because we do have bacteria in there and it does need to be balanced. One more than the other is going to cause a commotion in there and it's not going to be good, trust me. And so we can go ahead and add those fermented foods in for the probiotics. Not only that, but there's a lot of minerals, there's a lot of enzymes, there's a lot of vitamins that we have available to us in those foods that can help us to digest our food better, to absorb the nutrients and the vitamins and the minerals better. And a lot of people are deficient in certain minerals, say like magnesium. So if you can go ahead and get a little boost and help your body absorb more of those nutrients that you need, then it's going to be all the better for you. All right. And another food that we can bring in that we didn't talk about is sea salt. Now, a lot of people know by now that table salt probably really isn't the best for you, but our body needs to have the sodium. Table salt is really processed. All of the nutrients and vitamins and minerals that were available in that salt has been stripped out. So if you want to purchase yourself like a Himalayan sea salt or pink Himalayan salt or some sea salt, then that's going to go a long way to get this. It can help you digest your food because it can make sure you have sufficient acid in your stomach to digest your food properly. I didn't know that. That was news to me. So I'm happy because I love salt. And salt is also important because it provides the sodium that your body needs. And so there's a sodium potassium pump in your cells. It helps deliver energy so that your nerves can fire off properly, your heart can do its contractions properly, and even help some kidney functions. So you're going to want to make sure that you get enough sodium in your diet. Just remember, everything needs to be balanced. You can't go crazy. You don't want to go overboard or you're going to have a problem. So let's make sure that we don't overdo it there. So we also talked about having high vibrational foods. And basically what that means is you want to eat foods that are fresh and vibrant and full of life force energy, right? It's going to give you clarity. It's going to make you feel light and energetic. And it's really just going to give you a little extra boost to be able to really see what the truth is for you so you can write that story the way you want it to be. So when we're talking about high vibrational foods, we're talking like fresh fruits and vegetables. Now also the quality needs to come into play here. You want to get the best quality you can. Of course, if you can get organic, that's great. If you can't, try for non-GMO. If that's even a problem, then you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do, right? You still have to eat. So don't make yourself crazy and stressed out trying to find things that are just not working out for you. Do the best that you can within your means and everything will be fine. And remember, the positive affirmations. If you do have to get something that's not as high quality as you want, just tell it that you love it. Tell it you appreciate it. Tell it you're glad it's going to nourish your body. And I bet you'll get along just fine. Okay, and with that being said though, there are certain fruits and vegetables that are really heavily sprayed. They call it the Dirty Dozen. You can Google it to get a list of maybe what you should stay away from if you're trying to rid yourself of some of the chemicals in your body, and maybe look to the other vegetables and the other fruits that can provide you the same kind of nutrition, but won't give you the added chemical and pesticides in your body that you have to deal with right now. So that's always an option too. There's always an option, right? Okay, so sprouts. Sprouts are delicious. They come in all kinds of flavors. Sunflower seed, broccoli, mung bean, alfalfa. I haven't had one that I don't like yet. You can put them on sandwiches, you can put them in salads. All right, and when we were talking about eating the foods that make us feel light and energetic, obviously there's some foods that we're gonna wanna stay away from. So, of course, you know what I'm gonna say, processed foods are not gonna be your friend this week, okay? We're gonna wanna cut those out wherever we can. There's not really much in there that's gonna do you any good, and the stuff that's in there that maybe could do you good is gonna be overpowered by all of the junk that they throw in there to make it taste good, right? And you're gonna also wanna stay away from the fried foods because we don't need those heavy fried foods in our bodies. And when you go to those fast food joints, they are not frying them in good oil. They're frying them in oil that is not good for your body, and your body doesn't know what to do with it, and it's just gonna end up getting stored as fat, okay? It's not gonna do you any good. So stay away from that, if at all possible. Another thing you might want to consider staying away from or limiting in your diet this week is dairy. Now, if you do okay on dairy and you know it's fine for you, then go right ahead. Don't worry about it. But if you notice that you're feeling a little fatigued, or you feel bloated, or you get really bad heartburn or indigestion, and you are consuming dairy, then cut it out for a little bit and see how you feel after you cut it out. And if you feel better, then there's your culprit. And then you can take the actions to cut it out permanently if you so choose to do so. Free will, right? You do you. All right, and then of course, artificial sweeteners. We don't really want to deal with that right now. It can really mess with your mind, and we are trying to have clarity this week. So I use stevia, and I think that's okay. And the monk fruit substitute, I think that's also all right. I'll double check and make sure it's in the PDF for you so that you don't have to worry about trying to do what you should though. Actually, you should do a whole bunch of research on it, right? Whatever you're putting in your body, if you're not sure about, be your own detective. You should know what you're putting in your body. You don't have to you shouldn't just take any one person's word for it, and that includes me. You should always double check and make sure that it resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, it's okay to not take the advice. And if you think that you found something better, then you add it in, because it's all about you. It's all about your nutrition. It's all about your body. And it's all about you making the improvements that you want to in your life and attaining your health goals, right? So you do what you need to do and find out all the information that you need to know. Okay. All right, so basically we want to stay away from anything that is going to make us feel heavy. It's not to say we don't want to be grounded. We still want to be grounded, right? When you are grounded, you feel just rooted in, right? You feel like you're here, like you're present. So we really want to remember to stay grounded so that we get the best chance possible to figure out the information, to get the answers to the questions. If you're not grounded and you're asking questions and you're trying to surrender to spirit, source, universe, you're not going to get those answers. You're not going to hear them because they got to go through the earth first. You have to be grounded to hear those messages, okay? So bring those grounded recipes, bring those grounded activities back, right? The meditation, the yoga, going for a walk, being with nature, whatever you can do to help you feel grounded. And if you have something else that makes you feel grounded that I haven't listed, again, it's your body. You do what you need to do to make it work for you, okay? All right, now, lastly, we also saw that this is a week for us to realize that we're supposed to be happy, full of joy, content, excited for life, right? We want to play. So I think this week, have fun. That's a vital part of being in the present moment. When you're having fun, you're going to be aware of what's going on around you, right? You're going to want to savor every single moment of that. So do activities that bring you joy. What makes you laugh your ass off? What makes you even just smile? What makes your soul sing? Those are the things you want to do this week, right? If it's outside playing a game, if it's a board game with your family, if it's spending time with people that truly support you and just want what's best for you, and you feel rooted in yourself and you feel like you can be whoever you need to be and who you truly are, those are the things that you're gonna wanna do to make your story yours, right? To really set that in stone, to start feeling that excitement so that you can understand what's making you happy. So do those activities so you can be in the present moment, so you can be happy and feel what makes your soul stir, so you can write your story and have the life you really want to have. All right, and so for one suggestion that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell you, dance, okay? Dancing is great. It's good for your mind, it's good for your body, it's good for your soul. It keeps you flexible, it keeps you sharp, you name it, it does it. And it's a lot of fun. So find a partner or dance by yourself. But this week, if there's one activity that you bring in from my suggestions, I would have it be to dance, all right? It's gonna be so much fun. You're gonna love it. It's gonna make you feel, and it's also very grounding, okay? It's kind of primal almost. It's good. So, okay, whew, that is a lot of information. Now, remember, I make that PDF for you and I leave the link in the description. So don't get overwhelmed by what's going on here and don't feel stressed out trying to take a whole bunch of notes. I will give you an overview of everything that we talked about, including the reading, and I'll put the nutritional information in there for you as well as that bonus recipe. So a little inspiration to get your creative juices flowing in the food department, okay? All right, so I think that's pretty much it for this week. I hope you all have a great week. And again, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you just want to say hi, let me know. I'm glad to hear from you. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you want to be notified when I come out with the videos and you don't want to miss anything new, then just ring that bell, okay? And don't forget to share it with a friend if you think that they can benefit from any of the information that you saw here today. So with that, my friends, I will leave you for another beautiful week. I'm going to send you loving, healing energy, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye-bye.